Hey, welcome to my journey. Normally on Saturday, you would be seeing a meal prep. Not today. When I went to bed last night, I already didn't want to do it. And nothing magically changed when I got up this morning. I still didn't want to do it. And I sat over there, I'm like, do you do it? Do you not do it? Well, I don't feel like it. And so I'm not going to do it. Instead, I sat over there early this morning, started going through my Instagram because before I ever considered doing YouTube, I was very active on Instagram. And Denise reminded me a while back, I had forgot. I used to be Simply Feeling in K-Town because that's how I started Weight Watchers in April, was on Simply Feeling. I still love that program. I would do it again today. But people don't relate to it. So I love that program. That's how I lost my weight to begin with. And then I got off track, and it has just been up and down ever since. And that was April of 2018. Well, anyway, I thought I'm going to scroll back to my early days to see if there are, because I eventually switched over to freestyle. They did away with Simply Feeling. I've done it on my own several times. I know how to do it because I know the food you can eat. I have all my paperwork. But I eventually switched over to freestyle. And then the blue and the purple and the green, you know, all that. And I thought, I want to go to my early Instagram and see if there's any inspiration. Maybe things that I made back then that I haven't thought about and I can make today for, you know, little points or whatever. And so I went in there and started scrolling backwards. I tried to scroll all the way to the bottom and go up, but if you accidentally messed up or hit a page wrong, it would start you back over from the top. So I'm like, that took too long to finally find the beginning, because this was 2018 when I started Instagram. So that's a lot of posts, even though I don't post anything anymore. When I got into YouTube, Instagram slowly became a backseat, and then it kind of is not even in the car anymore. I need to get back to it, but we'll see. So I got to this one post, and boy, it hit me. I'm like, that's what we're gonna talk about that today. Instead of having a meal prep, we're just gonna have a little a little talk. And this is about being unencumbered. I ran across this post. It was June of 2019. I had not started my YouTube channel yet because I started it in September of 2019. So I wasn't even thinking about YouTube. I posted a salad, and I was talking about I couldn't face another day of fat-free dressing. It was just about to make me sick. I just couldn't do it. So I was going to eat my regular dressing, and I was not going to count it. Talked about that, and then here's the paragraph that got me. So I'm just going to read it to you. So let me break this down. Fat-free dressings are 0 smart points on Simply Feeling, but I can't stomach another taste of them, so I'm eating whatever dressing I want, not in unlimited quantities, not counting it either. I'm getting in salad and veggies this way that I otherwise would not. It's called picking your battles. It's one more way I make this journey my own. I simply can't face a life filled with fat-free salad dressing. And I made one of these faces. You already know from this morning, I don't count milk either. I also don't count avocado. I don't eat these things to excess, and I think having them in my diet, unencumbered by points, is healthiest for me. YMMV. Your mileage may vary. That got me thinking. Being encumbered by points. I looked at the definition of encumbered. Restrict or burden someone or something in such a way that free action or movement is difficult. Being encumbered by points, by some things, makes your life difficult. It takes away a certain joy. And yes, this is food we're talking about. And food can bring you joy or not. It can be, I don't want to call it a stumbling block, but, well, it can be a stumbling block. But there's parts of our life that include food that is easier to get through if we don't have to count them for whatever we're counting. We might be counting points. We might be counting calories. We might be counting carbs. We might be counting macros. Whatever it is, there are some foods that just make your life easier and more enjoyable if you don't have to count them. Unencumbered, not burdened, impeded, or hampered. Sometimes things might hamper your journey. These are the things I forgot about salad dressing, and I'm adding it back to my list because these fat-free dressings, these low-calorie dressings, whatever, they have got back to where I can't stand them. And if I have to eat them, I'm not going to eat a salad. But I also don't want to count the points because I'm getting in my salad. It's like broccoli on cheese on the broccoli, right? We've talked about that before. Salad dressing, not counting it. Milk, that's almond milk, any kind of nut milk, or dairy milk. I don't think I have ever counted almond milk. Maybe in the very beginning. But almond milk, 1 point for 1 cup? No. I drink almond milk every day. I keep a quart jar with almond milk in it so I can just drink it out of the jar. I don't have to get a cup every time I want some. Because I get dry mouth. And I have found that almond milk is the one thing that soothes my mouth. And when I am really thirsty, it is very refreshing to me. I love to drink almond milk. I just love it. If I want milk, I'm going to drink milk. Milk is good for us. Milk has vitamin D. Milk has calcium. Almond milk has calcium. Look it up. I think if you are encumbered by the points in milk, you are not going to drink that milk. Therefore, you are doing yourself a disservice of good, nutritious food. Same with avocado. I didn't count avocado back. I don't even, did I mention it on? Yeah, I mentioned it on there. See, I didn't even count avocado back then. Avocado is so healthy. There's something else I forgot. So healthy for you. The healthy fats in avocado way outweigh you having to count them and not eating them. You don't sit down and eat a whole avocado. Who can eat a whole avocado? Well, I can't. I smear a little bit on my toast, and that's where I eat it. Sometimes, if we have fish tacos, I might get cubes that line up to be the length of my finger. That's not enough. I am not going to weigh and measure out some avocado. It's not going to happen. Avocado is too healthy for you to not eat if you like it. If you don't like it, give it a try. Woo, you never know. Ketchup or steak sauce, when I use it as something to dip in, French fries or a steak, something like that, I'm not going to count it. I'm not going to weigh or measure a little dab of ketchup or a little dab of steak sauce. That is too much for me. That just sucks the life out of my journey. And it sounds stupid to somebody that don't have these feelings. I realize I'm probably sounding stupid to a lot of you, but a lot of you I'm not. A lot of you understand where I'm coming from, because you know that certain things just, you stumble. And it's like, okay, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I'm not going to. It's not worth my time and my trouble and my headache to measure ketchup and steak sauce when I dip. When I add it to a recipe, I always count it. I put it in the recipe ingredients and give it the points. Here's the biggest one, and I bet y'all know what it is. My coffee creamer. I hadn't counted my coffee creamer from day one back in April of 2018, and I'm not going to start counting it now. I've lost, even though I've gained the past few months because of my surgeries, and I'm trying to get it back off, I've still lost 111 pounds. Even though it took me a long time, I lost it. Not counting coffee creamer. Would I have lost more if I counted my coffee creamer? Doubtful. Because coffee creamer is not my downfall. Coffee creamer is not making me gain weight. It's just not. Or else I would have never lost weight. If coffee creamer is what was holding me back, I would never have lost 111 pounds. I mean, makes sense, right? You got something holding you back. You can't go forward. I'd still be back there at almost 400 pounds. But I'm not. Coffee is important to me. It is a part of my life. I enjoy it. I love it. It brings me satisfaction and joy to enjoy my coffee. Therefore, I am not going to weigh and measure the creamer that I put in my coffee. And I didn't weigh and measure it back when I drank the sugared coffee. I put sugar in my coffee and the sweetened flavored creamers. I didn't count it back then. And I eventually said, well, I'm going to wean myself off of that because that was a lot of calories or whatever. I thought, I'll wean myself off of it. And I did. So now I just drink half and half. And I don't put sugar in it because I can't stand the taste of sweet sugar anymore. I've got off of it for so long. Now sweet coffee is just like, oh, I can't do it. So I am going to enjoy my coffee from here on out. That brings joy to my world, my life. And I'm not going to be encumbered by measuring my creamer. Here's the one I thought about. All. When I add it to a recipe, count it. When I drizzle it in a pan to saute something, I ain't counting it. I ain't doing it. I use avocado oil for the most part, sometimes olive. If a recipe calls for cooking oil, then it just depends on what I grab. I'm not counting that healthy oil for just a little drizzle in a pan. I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. No. Those are the ones I could think of. And none of those things do I sit down with a spoon and gorge or sit with a straw and slurp. None of that. They're just things that I'm not going to count it. It's not worth my time and my trouble. And it gets me all worked up thinking about how many points I'm going to count for 2 teaspoons of oil. I don't count my bacon grease either. When I put some bacon grease in the pan to saute something or to cook my eggs, I ain't counting it. No, sir. Is bacon grease healthy? Pretty sure it ain't. But I ain't counting it. If I put some in my green beans, I ain't counting it. You see? No. So these are just some things that when I say I want to go on my journey unencumbered, these are the things I'm talking about. These are the foods that I can think of right off the top of my head that I don't count, haven't counted in years. Here's the other one. I did not ever, and I hadn't been lately either, did not ever count Saturdays. Never. When I first started this journey in April, I said, I'm giving myself Saturday. Because that's the day, if we eat out, we would eat out on Saturday. If David's home, we'll eat whatever, get our biscuits in the morning. Saturday was off limits to points. Saturday was my one day of just, okay, whatever. I didn't take it as a license to eat all day and gorge and carry on, but I took it as freedom to have what I wanted. And it worked. I lost weight. I didn't stress. I think stress sometimes will make you hold on to weight. And if you're stressing over some of these things, let go. Now, let me just say, don't do these things, gain weight, and come back and point the finger at me because I told you to do something. I ain't telling you to do nothing. I'm telling you what I'm doing, what works for me, what makes my journey unencumbered. You take it for what it's worth, and you do you. If you want to count every point to the last penny, then you do it. If that's what works for you. You see what I'm saying? We have to take this journey and make it our own. We talked about this. That's why this was coming up, because I talked about this. I think it was in my weigh-in video. Oh, my pocket feels like there's something in my pocket. Okay. I think it's just, there we go. It's just folded up in there on my weigh-in. And so that's why this hit me really strong, because you have to, even though it's Weight Watchers and Weight Watchers is a plan, let's say Weight Watchers is a square plan, sometimes you have to make your own plan, and maybe it's round, and that round plan don't fit into the square plan because you've made it your own. Sometimes we just have to do that. Some of us are like that. Some of us just need some freedom along the way, and that's what I'm talking about. I need it. So Saturdays, I'm going back to, which I haven't counted Saturdays in a while because I haven't counted points in a while. I've never gotten back when I started Weight Watchers. See, I'm supposed to eat a certain way for my gastric bypass. I could not sustain it. I tried the high protein, low carb. I tried. I've done it before in the past, but I don't know, something about it this time. I could not sustain it. There were other foods that were calling to me, and I couldn't just kick them out. You see what I'm saying? I needed them back. And I thought, okay, Weight Watchers is the plan that I can eat well-rounded because I can eat from all the food groups. But I got back on Weight Watchers, if I'm not mistaken, a week or two before I had my first knee surgery. And after the knee surgery, I really, for 3 months plus, I never got back on because I had the other one done in 2 months' time. So I never got on playing good to begin with, and then laid up, not moving, just wanting to eat all the time. That really didn't work. That didn't go over well. January came, February came. I have not gotten myself back on track yet. I'm making a declaration of intention, if that's even a thing, to myself to get my butt in gear. Saturdays, which is today, not counting it. But here lately, I've not been counting Sundays either. Now, I didn't used to do that. I went right back on plan. Saturday was off limits. I went right back on plan on Sunday, and I did it. So Sunday, I'm going right back on plan. I'm going to start tracking these daggum points. Listen, tracking encumbers me, but I know I have to. I can't say, well, I'm not going to track. That was the reason why I picked Simply Feeling. When I started, you had a choice, Simply Feeling or Freestyle, because they had just rolled Freestyle out the previous November, I guess. They still had Simply Feeling, and they had it for, I don't know, several months after I started, and then they got rid of it. But you had the choice. The quiz asked you, or I don't even know if they had a quiz back then, but it told you if you don't want to track all your food, then Simply Feeling is the plan for you. And I'm like, well, that's the plan for me because I don't feel like doing all that. That's why I didn't pick Freestyle. That's the only reason I picked Simply Feeling, is because I didn't have to do as much tracking, because there were so many 0-point foods. You only had to track 49 weeklies, no dailies. So you had 49 points during the week to track instead of how many ever you got for the day, every single day, plus your weeklies. So that's why I picked Simply Feeling, and I fell in love with that program. I'm telling you, I loved simply feeling. So I know I can't do that now unless I went back to simply feeling. I've got to track. I've got to get it down and stay within my points range to start losing the weight, which I've been losing here. I've been up and down, which that's been my whole journey. My whole journey has been an up and down rocky road. But if that's how it's going to be, that's how it's going to be. So today, off limits. I'm not touching it with points, but I'm getting back on track starting in the morning with breakfast, which, as long as I feel like it, is supposed to be stuffed French toast with raspberries. Can't wait. I can't wait. We love that. When we did Nutrisystem, listen, I've tried it all. Y'all know I've tried it all. That's why I finally went to the gastric bypass. And now here I am back on Weight Watchers, which I've heard of it. I've heard a lot of people have had the gastric bypass and ended up back on Weight Watchers. Yep. I guess they were like me. The high protein, low carb, very low carb, low calories. Hard. It was hard. I knew it was something I was going to have to do, but I didn't realize it was going to be that hard for me to maintain. And if it's something you can't maintain, you're going to go off the rails. These little things here, if these little things weren't in place to not count, they're going to make me, number one, despise what I'm doing. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh my gosh, maybe it'll come to me. To where you resent. It's going to make you resent having to diet. And yes, I've told you 100,000 million times, I consider this a diet because it changed the way I normally ate, the way I want to eat, because I don't want to be on this diet. I don't want to eat the way I'm eating. I want to eat the way I ate when I ballooned up and got fat. I know I can't do that, but that's what I want. You see? That's why, to me, this is a diet, because it completely is different from what I did and what I want to do. So the lifestyle part for me comes in making the diet my lifestyle. So it works together. It goes in tandem. It's just some people hate the D word. I don't get that. It's just a word. I don't get that. Make the diet your lifestyle. There's your lifestyle. But if there's certain things that you just make you resent having to keep your plan, whatever plan you're on, then these are things that you might need to take into consideration tweaking to make it your journey. If, I don't know, yogurt. Okay, let's just say yogurt. If you can't stand the taste of the plain non-fat Greek yogurt that is 0 points on Weight Watchers, we'll talk about Weight Watchers for a minute. But you need those live active cultures for your belly. But you don't want to count points for regular yogurt, so you don't eat yogurt, then maybe you could add yogurt to your no count list. You see, I'm not telling you to do it. I'm saying maybe that's an option. Go over your options. Weigh them out. Get you a notebook and piece of paper. Write down pros and cons. Write down things that you resent counting. See how detrimental they're going to be to your journey. Salad dressings are not going to be a detriment to me because I rarely eat salad. Back in the day when I didn't count it, and then somewhere along the line, I'm like, okay, well, let's go back to the fat-free and blah, blah, blah. I forgot that I used to not count it. It didn't when I know when I didn't count salad dressings, it didn't make me eat more salads. Therefore, I got more calories from all that no-count salad dressings. No, I don't eat salads that often. But when I do, I want a decent salad dressing on it. Otherwise, I just don't want to eat it. It's just, I throw it away. I start eating on it, and I'm just like, I can't eat this. And then I throw it away. And then I miss the vegetables. Granted, I like iceberg lettuce, and they say there's no nutritional value to it, but I say there is. You at least get fiber. I don't know what else you get. I have not studied it. I just know I like it. I like romaine too, but you have to buy so much at one time. I can't eat it before it goes brown because David don't like it. He don't like the little spine in it, the little rib. He don't like that. And you know I'm not eating his lettuce. That leafy stuff. No. No. So iceberg it is. But weigh out your options of things that might make your journey easier and make you more likely to stick to it. That's what these things do for me. Because we all know when you start resenting something, you're going to turn your back on it. You know that. You think of things in your life that have become a resentment to you, and it makes you not want to have anything to do with them, right? Okay, then that's where you need to take stock of your weight loss journey. If there's nothing that makes you resent what you're doing, if you don't mind counting whatever you count for whatever program you're on, then you have nothing to worry about. You don't need to take stock of anything. But if you're having troubles seeing yourself through your plan, because one thing or another is just really just making you not want to do it, then just tweak it maybe. I'm saying maybe because I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you, I don't want to get fussed at because Kim said. No, Kim didn't. Kim's giving you her viewpoint. You can take it for what it's worth. So that's what I wanted to talk about this morning. Just being encumbered or unencumbered. I choose these things on this list to unencumber me on this weight loss journey. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope maybe you got something out of it. I don't know. Maybe you didn't. Maybe I'm just spitting in the wind. You know how it just splats right back in your face? I don't know. But tomorrow I've got a junk journal video going up. It's just a little short one, just showing me putting in some stuff on some of my pages. And then after that, I don't know. So, but I'll see you tomorrow for junk journal if you choose to tune in. If not, then I'll see you when I see you.